So, you you had said review bombing right before we hit record,
Yes.
and I gotta say that is the dumbest thing. I think that is one of the dumbest things that I have ever seen as a result of like the digital culture that we live in now.
I it- see. I'm of two separate minds on this because when it's done right. So here's the thing: we're already talking about a review system, and when a game that people are passionate about makes changes that are unpopular with the community, it is ideally supposed to be serving. Uh, like, can there be too much, and can it be motivated for the wrong ways? Absolutely, yes, and we've seen that before. But like when it's done, quote unquote, the right way. I mean, like I said, this is what the review system was for. They made a decision. It was unpopular. People came in and expressed, "Oh, hey, I was having fun with this game. They dropped this. I wouldn't recommend it anymore." I I don't see a problem with accountability.
Or,
I guess
or
I guess my thing with it is I never really saw that as what the review system was for.
What is the review system for? 5 stars is game. Code run
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, like the review system is for like if I'm looking to get a game, I want to read reviews on the game. I'm not
Right.
looking to read reviews for active up to the minute things of what they're doing in this game.
Well, why not? Because that's
that's
going to affect you if you
that's
purchase the
good.
game. The idea of that is going to, the things that they are doing now may influence whether you decide to buy that game or not. And
Yeah,
if it has been
That
an
is
overly
true.
negative thing, that's the whole point of it.
yeah,
It's
that's
not it's not an eBay review where just go, yes, 5 stars, delivered, great, thanks.
yeah, that's the version of the
Delivered.
game that you're going to be buying is the current version, and if you
Mhm.
get reviews on the current version, that should influence your purchase.
Hey,
I
reviews
get yeah, I guess
reviews from
that,
10
that is a
years
good
ago are
point.
great, but if it's a fundamentally different game now, that's not really useful, is it?
That's why the Steam review system is really good because they have the all reviews and then recent reviews. Two separate review pools.
You know, as I was saying that too, as those words were leaving my lips, I was like, this isn't right. This isn't a good take.
this
Also,
is this is this is not a great this is not a good look.
also you get
This isn't
the
gonna land the way you want it to.
also also you get the thing you can do with like say Bethesda games, like with Fallout 76, where the only reviews that you could post were on Bethesda's like for it were on like Bethesda's forums. So,
Which does not have the sort of hands-off approach that Steam
yeah.
does.
So they
Let's
would
just say.
so they would delete bad reviews for 76 on release, so people went to review bomb the rest of their games.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're not going to let us
Accountability.
that's
if you're not going
fair.
to let us review the game that is currently in launch, how else are we supposed to get our reviews out there?
What are the reviews for Starfield, I wonder?
Oh,
Skyrim, but in space.
I gotta find out. I gotta know.
Can we talk about how they redid Oblivion and did it like
Oh, did the shadow
over
drop?
like I just shadow drop? They were like, oh, by the way, we've been remastering Oblivion for the last like 3 years. Here it is.
Oh, they're doing the same thing with Echo the Dolphin. Like they're not the same
What?
company. The original. Yeah, no, this just came out. The original creators of Echo the Dolphin and the follow-up game are doing remasters, full 4K like upreses and everything. And there's a third one. There's a third game coming in the current
What?
style of
but
video game.
Now,
Yeah,
when you say Echo the Dolphin and the sequel game, do you mean Echo 2? Echo the Dolphin 2?
I think it was. I think the game that I had heard mentioned was a different name, and I don't recall what it was off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest. Oh yeah, no, Starfield is absolutely mixed, and I expected nothing less. Honestly, that's higher than I expected.
like I'm
I'm a Bethesda fan, and that's higher than I
I
expected.
cannot
I'll
wait.
still give them money.
I cannot wait until the Bethesda scuffs the ES6 launch, and then people get all outraged about that. It's like they literally did that to you 2 times already. 76.
What was the Bush quote? What was the Bush quote? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't fool me again.
Never gonna fool me again.
Yeah.
Because like the launch for 76 was just dog water, absolute dog water.
Oh, it was
and
trash.
then they did it again with Starfield. It's like how many times can they do this to you? And apparently
how many times do you need to learn this lesson, old man?
Every pretty much every single Bethesda launch has had problems.
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing Fallout 4 launch week, and it was not great.
The group that I played Fallout 76 with a fair amount, Todd Howard's name was used as a pejorative, basically as a curse.
But yeah, and then Skyrim didn't work on PlayStation for 6 months. Like how?
Did you need a login?
Are you surprised? Like, why is anybody surprised that they scuffed yet another launch?
Needless to say, they really made a Todd Howard of the whole ordeal.
16 times the detail.
16 times the negative reviews.
4 times the
16
size.
times the Todd Howard.
16 times the loading screens.
16 Todds the Howard.
Ugh.
There it is.
Oh.
Got it. I win.
I don't even have. I can't throw up. I am pure code, and I am dry. Don't like it.
Oh, very pleased with
Unsubscribe.
myself on that. With that, welcome to another episode of today's theme podcast.
Don't
If you're
unsubscribe.
new, joining us for the
Subscribe.
first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. For the rest of you, welcome back. As always, I am your host, Mara. Joining me is Asher Dales
Ew.
and Lostronaut.
I'm unsubscribing. Me.
And this, you can't unsubscribe. And this week, and today, our theme is, and this was a little esoteric, this was a little out there, all right? You ready for this? Second chances, all right? Now, I want you to kind of think about it this way. Have either you guys, both of you have watched the Boondocks, correct?
I've seen
bits of it.
episodes.
Okay.
I am aware of it, and I've seen some of it.
In the first season, there's an episode Boondocks does that says instead of getting shot and killed, Martin Luther King got shot and fell into a coma for 20 years. Or 30 years. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then woke up in like 2010 or whatever year it was. And it kind of like, it kind of went into like, how would that be now? So that's kind of where I was aiming to go with this episode. Kind of along that lines of like, here's an interesting one that I just heard brought up to me a couple days ago by some friends of mine. Kurt Cobain. Would Kurt Cobain today be a trans woman?
I don't know. For some reason, the immediate thought that I get, like the immediate impression when you say Kurt Cobain to me, is that he was probably washed up and not really doing gigs for a bunch of years. Probably, I want to say maybe 2007 to like 2018 ish, and then with the resurgence of like 90s grunge and stuff over the last few, like I'm sure that's coming. So he's probably, he's put some weight on, Dave Grohl's not talking to him.
Really Marilyn Manson did up.
I mean, not nearly that off the, not that like Nazi off the rails sort of, yes, that like no, like similar trajectory, but without the racism.
I see. I see. I didn't know Marilyn Manson got racist in the later years.
Has been apparently the whole time, and
Oh.
no, yeah, no, anyway, uh, so
He
but it's
would
my understanding anyway from
he would
as long as
definitely
I
hate
know.
he would definitely hate the commercialization of Nirvana.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, no, but
Well,
he's
I mean, would the
probably
commercialization of
balding.
Nirvana have actually happened?
You think part of it is because of the? I mean,
Is because
like I said,
is part of his suicide?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, part of that, I think that the arc that I see in my head, the head canon, if you will, is that's kind of what happened. It's kind of like it didn't it didn't take off maybe as far or didn't last as long because he was still around and doing gigs and blah blah blah, and they fell off in the mid 2000s, and now maybe starting to get a resurgence with like you know his lack of hair. He's put on some weight. He's you know he but he's touring again, and he's probably been touring off and on in like bars for like or smaller clubs for a few years.
So so not trans. That's what I'm hearing.
I I I don't get that intention, not that
I don't get that
impression,
either.
but like
I don't get
like
like proponents of this say that like because he wore a lot of dresses on stage and stuff like that, he definitely like because he gender bent a lot of his performances and stuff like that,
yeah.
that he would have come out. And I'm like, I
I think
don't
that was
Yeah,
more of
more
a
counterculture thing.
yeah, that was more of a grunge
yeah.
sort of like stick like screw you, I don't care what you think. Like that just as like I listened to a lot of Nirvana and for a long time, and like yeah yeah that's more of like just a grunge counterculture in my opinion. Again, tell me if I'm wrong, but
No, I know. I think you're right. I agree with you. I
I
don't
think some
think
of it may be misconstrued from the showmanship of the types of shows and the type of art that they did in the very much in the capsule of the time frame that they did it in the world as it was then. I think that can be a little too easily misconstrued. But again, I didn't know the man personally.
yeah, I don't think because I feel like you would get it in the music. And I don't think there's a
Oh,
lot.
absolutely. With so many different types of art, so much of you unknowingly even influence that art in ways you don't you're not going to
Yeah,
see because you're right on top of
exactly.
it. You know.
And like you listen to Nirvana songs now, and it's like, no, it's not. It's missing those trans undertones. Like it really is.
I mean,
I
there
don't
there
think.
was a lot of rebellion and anger and like that, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't feel like that's sort of like underlying. Yeah, it just didn't. I
No.
mean, to me, again, to me, it doesn't feel like that. But I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm a bunch of code on a couple of military supercomputers this week.
I also kind of like don't like that characterization because like we're talking about a deeply troubled man who wore a lot of dresses and on stage performances as a lot of counterculture things, and who also you know himself. I feel like were he trans, we could have better representation. We don't need, and as a matter of fact, we do have better representation. We don't need to be looking back into a 20-year dead singer songwriter for it.
I'm pretty sure that's more than 20.
Shut your mouth.
I think we're coming up on 30 soon.
Stop it.
I will say that I wouldn't really know from any of the music because I really don't like Nirvana.
Oh,
No,
No,
oh,
no heart shaped box for you.
no.
we are past. We are past 30, and then another one.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
April 5th. It was in the
Stop!
1900s. It's
Stop!
1994.
Stop! Stop!
Ugh.
Stop! Stop.
This is for the car. This is for what you did to that car.
What car?
You know what car.
Car wasn't even a computer. It was an old car.
Cars have ECMs. Cars have machine spirits.
Machine spirit. Oh.
Monster. Anyway, yeah, so that was 31 years ago. In the 1900s.
Actually, wouldn't that be the 1800s?
No, that would be the 1900s. The 20th century.
We're in the 2000s.
We're in the 21st century. Because there's 1,000, and then it starts over.
Wait, what? 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 What do you mean it's 1,000 and then it starts over?
We're in the 21st century.
Uh-huh.
Because you gotta get to 1,000 first.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Eldritch math, explaining math.
I don't like math. I never liked math.
Math doesn't like you.
I know. Math never likes me. Never has.
I'm just
Ever
trying
since I
to
put that oil in that car.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around this theme for today. Trying to come up with somebody who's not terrible, absolutely just awful. I'm just going to like dictators who died. Like what would the Soviet
Bam
Union
Margera be doing if he were alive right now?
still being a piece of shit?
Isn't Bam Margera still alive?
Sure.
You're shitting me.
Wait, no, that's what we were talking about earlier before we started recording. Wait, when did he die though?
Is he still
I
alive?
think you said this, but I really wasn't paying attention.
Rightfully so. Bam Margera's friends don't like him.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was pretty sure he's still alive.
I would have legitimately put money on him being dead.
Yeah, he's 45 years old. He's not even that old.
I legitimately would have put a large amount of money on him having been dead. A significant amount of, at least, years, honestly.
Yeah, no, I
Wait, he wasn't in the last Jackass, was he?
No.
no. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure, like, they've all cut ties with him. Like,
Oh yeah, no, then he's dead.
no, he's not dead. He's still alive.
I mean, his career's dead.
No, I mean, his career's been dead. I mean, if we're going off of his career, although he just got married, apparently.
And it hasn't been 2005 in 20 years.
Oh my God, is that what he looks like? Look at his wife. Holy crap.
He looks like Phil. I googled him and I thought, no, that's a picture. That looks like an AI photo of Phil with like a tat with tats. No, that's Bam. Oh, that's Bam.
Does kind of look like Phil.
There's no kind of about it. I thought it was Phil.
He is engaged to a smoke show. He is not engaged, married to a smoke show. What the fuck? My God. It must be made of gold. It must be. Because damn. Although I guess it makes sense. She looks like she could have grown up watching Jackass. How old is she? Oh, that was unkind. I shouldn't say that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think she's anywhere near 45.
I don't think she is.
I haven't seen a picture of her.
It's no Bill Belichick.
It is no Bill Belichick. What is that, by the way? She's 36. Okay, she's not that young. She's not.
That's fine
What
then.
is that? What is Bill Belichick's whole deal? I just found out about that. What is going on there? And like they won't talk about when they met or how they met. What is that? What is that? Not neither of you?
No, I got nothing.
I don't know who that is.
The former head coach of the New England Patriots. He's what, 70 something?
73, I think.
And he's on that
See-
Leonardo DiCaprio.
His like girlfriend's like 25. Like this girl just got her frontal lobe.
Put it back in the oven for a while.
Which, by the way, real quick, on the topic of frontal lobes, I was speaking to what is essentially a fetus earlier this week, and I asked him how old he was. He said he was 26. I said, "Oh, interesting. Did you know that your frontal lobe isn't done fully developing until at least age 26?" And this boy turned to the girl he was with and went, "Is she talking about my dick?" I said, "I guess in your case, maybe a couple years.
It's kind of that's kind of a loose rule than like an actual like hard date.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, it's somewhere around that time. Could be a couple years sooner, could be a couple years later, but like, it's around that time. In his case, probably a couple years more, considering he thought I was talking about his dick. Which really, because like when he thought I was talking about his dick, his face his face looked at me like, "Oh no, oh no, my dear sweet bitch, this is fully developed," and it's like, no, that's not what I was talking about.
That is not where this was going. Calm down. Calm all the way down.
Granted, looking at some of like the things that I see on like YouTube where college age kids don't even know the US geography.
Oh, I remember being in community college, and during communications class, we had to break out in the small groups, and we had to name all 50 states, and the name of the state would show up. We had to click on it on the map. Now, I'll be honest, in the Midwest, it gets when all the states start turning into squares and rectangles, various shapes, various sizes of rectangles. It gets a little rough for me. It's a little sticky out there. Other than that, though, I know where all the states are.
That was a college course?
It's a college, yeah.
Oh my god. Like I used to
The
say,
amount of people who did not know, like we would see we would see things like Louisiana, and I remember this one girl saying, "I didn't even know that was a state." What? What? What do you mean you didn't know that was a state? That girl probably makes more money than I do today. So how are you guys?
oh man, I'm just trying to go back to the theme for today, and I'm got nothing.
Topic for today.
Well, we don't really have to like, because I was thinking about like what would the USSR look like if Stalin stuck around, and we don't really have to wonder about that because we can see it happening right now.
Yeah, it's true. We don't have to think about that.
Yeah, what alternate history writer is writing current events? I'd like a word. Philip K. Dick, is that you?
Philip K. Dick. It's J.D. Salinger. Let's be honest. This is Catcher in the Rye written all over it. Everybody's a damn phony.
It's Turtle Dove at the best of times.
Hot take. Probably not all that hot of a take, but if you seriously think Catcher in the Rye is a good book, you're only pretending it to like it to be pretentious as fuck.
It's really the only reason anybody likes that book is just to be pretentious, because that book is incredibly pretentious. The best thing J.D. Salinger ever did was star in BoJack Horseman season 2. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Mara, what do you mean? That's not actual J.D. Salinger. It is. It is. I can assure you. Let's see. What? You know what? How did Mr. Rogers die? Old age. That was
Probably
old
just
age,
old
right?
age. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was old age. Trying to think. What? Ooh, what? What if Freddie Mercury hadn't died? He'd still be alive. He'd be old, but he'd still be alive.
Probably still having adult sleepovers.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
think
still
of, like-
making music. I have a feeling there would have been a lot more a lot more crossover music. Like I can't think of the word right now. But like he probably would have worked with Bowie some more. I feel like probably a bunch of I don't know why I feel like he would have played a lot of the like charity event, like not like regular charity events, but like the big ones. Last, like the big touring. Like I'm not describing it real well.
I wonder if Rock would have stuck around longer if he hadn't died.
Who?
Freddie Mercury.
If who would have stuck around longer?
If Rock would have stayed around longer.
Rock.
Rock, like as a genre of music.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think one man would have really influenced it one way or another, to be perfectly honest. Not saying Freddie Mercury wasn't influential, but I don't think to that extent to like legitimately keep the genre of music alive longer than its shelf life was already kind of proving it. Its height of popularity necessarily. Like
I mean, because like I look like when you say something like that, I would think I would look to like the hip hop industry, where like I guarantee you, if Tupac had not been killed, the hip hop scene would look way. Now I am not qualified to speak on this in any real depth, but I can say for sure though that if Tupac had not been killed, I feel like rap as a genre would be different.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like
could you say the same thing about Biggie Smalls?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because you know what? If Biggie hadn't died, this is something I can actually talk on, because if Biggie hadn't died, Diddy wouldn't have risen to power.
You think you think Biggie would have kept that a little bit more in check?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know about that, because then Eminem comes on the scene.
Yeah, but
And M just took over the scene.
He did, but M didn't stop Diddy. Because Eminem taking over. Because I think Eminem would have made an impact on the scene, regardless of whether or not Biggie had died.
The thing is, they were two fundamentally different background of rappers. I mean, Eminem actually came from the streets, and like even from the beginning, like Diddy did not necessarily fit in because he was a little too, up like a little too middle class, a little too well educated, like all that stuff. He was like at the time he was like he had that clean reputation, and that's kind of what he leaned into for a lot of his stuff, right? So,
also, while Eminem changed the hip hop industry, Eminem had the influences of other artists wouldn't necessarily have affected M's path, because M came into that industry and had to fight his way through it to get to where he is now. And I think those same barriers would still have existed regardless of whether or not Biggie and Tupac were still alive.
Yeah, no, I don't think that ultimately would have influenced that too much.
But I think if Biggie and Tupac were still alive, absolutely, I think hip hop would be very different today.
Very different. Would hope that if Biggie and Tupac were around, that mumble rap would never exist.
I don't think it would.
That was a dark time in hip hop.
Big. Yeah.
At least certainly not to the extent that it is.
Which is why it's like for people not in the hip hop world, it's kind of how I feel about mumble rap is how I feel about like the minimalist Billie Eilish style of music.
Oh,
like Bad Guy?
Yeah, it's just like that really minimalist kind of like.
I'm not gonna. Okay,
it's just
I legit love that song. It is a banger. I really do like it.
There's not enough there.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a strongly written song, though.
Oh, I didn't say anything to that effect.
Yeah.
Like the other one,
banger. I'll give you that.
There's another one she has that I really like. You Should See Me in a Crown. However, as good as the original is, and it is good, the OTEP cover, amazing.
I don't know. I don't know how big into J-Rock and J-Metal you two were or are.
I've dabbled a little here and there, but nothing can really keep my attention too long. I enjoyed Lady Baby, which is not the same genre at all, but I enjoyed Lady Baby for a long time until they lost the wrestler.
But do you know who X Japan is? Mara, I'm pretty sure you know who X Japan is.
I know who X Japan is.
I'm familiar with the reputation, but I could not name you a single song.
If those guys were still alive, like if
they are still alive.
It's the singer, right?
No, the only one who died was, I believe, their bassist.
But I thought it was the front man.
No, he got sucked into a cult. He got sucked into a cult. That's why they broke up.
At a cult?
Shit, really?
Yeah. So that's why they broke up, is because
he joined Scientology?
He joined a cult. Those Japanese cults are really weird. It's like even worse than Scientology, really, I think. Weird cults. But
they don't mess around.
He got pulled into a cult and signed the rights away to X Japan to the cult.
Oh, well, that's probably why they recruited him, honestly. I mean, cults will do research on prospects, as far as like, okay, what can we take them for?
Is that why you don't hear about X Japan at all?
Yeah, so they came back. They had basically a reunion tour after, and their guitarist died. Hide. He committed suicide. Yeah, he hung himself. It was a sad day. Like 50,000 people went to his funeral. It was crazy.
I thought one of them had died.
Yeah, but he committed like a year after they broke up. And then like 10 like I want to say like about 10 years later, Taka, the lead singer, got out of the cult and fought for a long time to get the rights to X Japan back, and basically reformed X Japan. They did
Got out of the cult and had to get the rights back.
yeah, he had to go through a whole legal battle to get the rights to X Japan back.
Wow.
I mean, he did sign them away, so that
So
I imagine that would not be easy.
So I kind of want to. I would wonder what the Japanese music scene would look like with X Japan still like around through the early 2000s.
If they had never gone away. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I definitely think in music cultures, one band or one, a handful of people, one or two people can absolutely change the course of the industry.
I don't know if I could say that about Freddie Mercury, but you can definitely say it about X Japan because they are basically the band that brought rock and metal to Japan, like made it like Japanese metal and rock mainstream for the world.
I agree. Like, I wonder about Freddie Mercury. Like I said, like I wonder if rock may have stayed around, and he may not have been able to been that influential for that, but
I just don't.
But
I don't know if they
other
could,
artists.
I don't know if they could delay the onset of the alt rock scene. If he alone could really delay the onset of the alt rock.
Like imagine if Backstreet Boys and NSYNC never got big.
It would have been some other manufactured band.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't have necessarily have been a boy band,
that was kind of what they were going for, so it just would have, in fact, been a different boy band.
I don't think it would have really mattered who was in it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't get JT, but...
that might have been a benefit, honestly. Talking about another guy who's not really coming out so clean in his later years.
So I'm wondering what y'all think. What year would Elvis have died in had he not died in 76? Because he wouldn't be around now. And I'm not saying he couldn't live old enough to be, but like he specifically, with his habits, could not. I'm guessing 1994.
I don't know.
I'm thinking he's working a carnival in Kentucky, and in the
How
middle
old
of
was he
the
when he
act just
died?
falls. 1994. Well, I mean, how old was he in 76?
Yeah, how old was he in 76?
He was in his 40s, wasn't he? Hold on, let me find out. I think it was 76 when he died.
Because I think I'm with you. I don't think he's living past the 90s.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's living past the 80s, to be honest.
Okay, so
No, you don't think?
So he was born in 35. So he'd be 90 if he were alive today, which is doable. That's that's doable for a human. It's on the higher end of your expected life range, but that's doable.
Yeah. No, he definitely would not be alive today.
So I'm guessing basically he has a heart attack playing a state fair in Kentucky around about 99, like 94, 95. It's a summer state fair.
You're so generous.
He's been gorging on like peanut butter covered a funnel cake and corn dogs dipped in bacon grease, and he gets up there and he sweats his last sweat, hunka burning, and then thud.
Yeah, you're kind of generous with the 90s. I really
94.
I really would not think he would make it out of the 80s.
I am absolutely. He had my guess is he had a scare in the 70s and cleaned his act up a bit throughout the 80s, and then kind of fell a little off the wagon when he ran out of money. Like those plates only sold because he was dead. Let's be 100% honest, okay?
I think you're really being generous saying that he would be performing at 90.
No. 1994. 1994.
Oh,
he wouldn't have made it
okay.
into the 2000s. I'm sorry. No, he wouldn't be. I'm not talking like 4 years from now. No. He didn't make it to the new millennium.
No,
like
definitely not.
like he like straight out death, heart attack, State Fair, Kentucky, 94.
I love how it's
Absolutely,
Kentucky.
his last meal was a corn dog dipped in pig fat and just peanut butter and grease, and banana covered funnel cake.
So gross. That's so disgusting. It's
There's
so gross.
70% chance that he would have died on the toilet earlier that day in his trailer.
That is so unbelievably gross. So unbelievably gross. Ugh. Yeah. No, I think, yeah, I mean, he's definitely not seeing the new millennium. He's
No,
definitely not seeing the year
no,
2000. Like, Y2K, it was not a concern that he would have had to have had.
no.
Um, wow.
Somebody just
Gee,
bought his jet.
what?
Yeah, his private jet was essentially abandoned in a desert, one of those like desert boneyards, I think,
Okay.
and it went up for auction in 2023, and someone bought it. It was left untouched. Like all of the interior is still in there. TVs. He had a microwave in the thing. Like all of that stuff is still in there. So like if they're apparently talking about refurbishing the plane to like fly it again, I think, or at least make it a museum piece. I don't know if they're going to try and fly it. They probably could, but I like I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to risk that.
You wouldn't want to fly Elvis's plane? Dead
I,
Elvis's plane?
I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would want to crash and die in Elvis's plane.
I mean, just because you're in the plane doesn't mean you're going to crash and die in it. You don't sound very confident.
There is a greater than 0% chance of that happening, and that is too high for me.
Oh, I mean, it's far greater than zero. Far greater
Is
than zero.
that wasn't a Boeing? Was I don't think that was a Boeing.
If it's a Boeing, then oh,
It's a certainty.
it's
Are we
certainly
sure? Are
far
we sure it
greater than
wasn't?
zero.
Are we sure it wasn't the private jet that killed him? Strangled him while I was in the toilet. I think there was a window
Amazingly,
up
double
behind that
tapped
toilet.
himself from the back of the head on from the toilet. He was clutching some Boeing safety manuals. Allegedly. Allegedly.
We got to be real careful. Boeing will send assassins to erase you and
Boeing,
erase me. And like erase my hard drives.
Boeing will not sue us. They will just get rid of
No,
us.
no. They will just deploy skunkworks agents. Let's be honest. Again, someone with a magnet for me and a bullet or two for you.
Oh man. We're just kidding, Boeing. We're just kidding. It's fine.
They're not listening to us.
And nobody's listening to us.
You never know. You never know. You never know. I don't want I don't want to be the reason I died because I shit talked Boeing on our funny little podcast.
I'm just going through the list of the 27 Club, see who would
Yeah.
make an impact.
You know, again, half of them I feel like, okay, what year would they have made it to? Because it ain't today.
Oh, Mitch Hedberg.
I could still see him touring.
I could see him touring. I could see him.
Yeah.
I could see him doing a lot with comedy. I could
Yeah.
probably see him even having a show.
Yeah, I feel like had he not passed, I feel like he would have probably had a little bit of more of a probably a movie, possibly a movie career, but
Yeah,
definitely some TV work at least, possibly even some stage stuff depending on the interest.
I could see him even having honestly,
Like a
I could
Netflix
see him
special,
having a talk show.
like a couple extra Netflix specials.
Yeah. I could see him having a very similar.
Oh, kind of like the
Uh,
Zach Galifianakis show that he was talk show he was doing for
Between Two
like
Ferns. I
yeah
mean,
that
I would think something like that, only funny.
yeah yeah yeah.
Only something people would actually want to watch.
Yeah, in the same vein, like I wonder what it would be like with Sam Kinison still around.
Yeah, like if Sam Kinison was still around.
Mm. If Carlin was still around, he would have had about 5 absolutely political driven like Netflix specials by now, like practically one a
think
year
They
at
probably
least.
would have had.
At
They would have
least
had to. I think they would have had to have killed um, they would
Carlin.
have had to kill Carlin at this point. Like,
And he probably would have been written into the more recent I mean his character I think had like a cameo. They had like a little homage which was very sweet if I remember correctly. But
I think I think Carlin would have had an aneurysm trying to write some of the material.
for today.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know that he would have needed to write a whole lot of it. It would have just been him ranting and screaming at this point, which if you've seen his comedies, it's not far off, but it's fairly well written and structured. Um, he may
might
have
not
just
have been able to
evolved in a
handle.
guttural scream. Yeah,
He
yeah.
might not have been able to handle where we are today.
Uh,
What a great Bernie Mac. God.
yeah. When did he? I remember I remember the last thing seeing him in was one of the
Transformers.
Ocean. No, it wasn't even that. It was one of the Oceans. Was it Ocean's 12? It was
He was in
Ocean's
Ocean's
12.
13.
Was it Ocean's 13?
He was in all the Ocean's movies.
Was he in all of them? I don't know if he was in the
Yeah.
last one of the.
Well, not the female reboot, not Ocean's
Did he
9
did
or
he
8 or
did
whatever
he
it
pass
was.
after those then?
He passed after Ocean's 13, yeah.
Okay, I
Because
thought
he had a TV show for a while. He had the Bernie Mac show for a while.
oh that was after. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Transformers did come out after Ocean's 13, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he when did he die?
2008.
2008. Yeah.
When did
That was a sad day. It was a sad day for comedy when Bernie Mac died. Because you know what? I'll tell you this right now. He was the king of comedy. I love the King's Comedy. I've watched that special a million fucking times. He is the funniest. He's the funniest man on that special.
Ocean's 13 was 2007. Yeah.
There were like 4 movies that came out pretty much after he died that I guess were in post.
Okay. Because I remember it being right around that time, but I maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah, so like the last thing that most people saw him in was Transformers.
That's sad. That's a little sad.
I don't know. The first Transformers was fun.
I mean, yeah, but it's
The
still a
first
Michael Bay
Transformers,
movie.
That was.
Well, it was the first one, wasn't it? Because he was the car dealer.
Yep.
Oh, that's
right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he sold Bumblebee.
That's right. That's right. He was the used car dealer. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That movie wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad.
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Big robots,
It
pow
was
pow,
entertaining.
punch punch punch,
Yeah,
explosion.
I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I'll give it. Yeah, it didn't end up. It wasn't some of the later ones.
I would have loved the zoom out in that movie. I remember watching that movie thinking, like, can we zoom out a little bit?
You got to watch an IMAX.
I was like, I don't need to be on Optimus Prime's shoulder while he's throwing a punch. Like, this seems unnecessary.
This seems ridiculously intimate.
It does.
Well-
It does get like close-ups of like Megaton's jaw fucking breaking. I'm like, this is. I don't need to be this close.
Was it 2?
I-
Was it Transformers 2 where you got to see what's his nuts? You had the wrecking ball nuts.
I don't.
Yeah, there was an
Okay,
undercarriage.
I have repressed something apparently.
I think it was
What?
2. I think it was 2, and one of the Transformers steps over the camera, and the camera is looking up, and there's 2 dangling wrecking balls.
I
hate everything you're saying right now. I hate all of it. What do you mean there's 2 wrecking balls?
No.
Yeah. There were wrecking balls
Say yeah, like it's
Hold
so
on.
commonplace.
in
Hold
between
on,
the
hold
legs
on.
of the Transformer.
Please tell me you're looking this up.
I'm looking this up.
What do you need a Google search for this?
I'm
Transformer testicles?
Transformers 2 Nutshot is what I hate I hate that that's in my search
Yeah, there it
history.
is. It auto completed Transformers 2
balls.
Transformer 2 balls scene auto completed.
It's 8 seconds long, and that's 9 seconds too long. I don't want to click on this. There's no going back.
You
There's-
can't unsee it.
Let me I'll probably put it up on screen when I get to the edit. Save image as
I hate this.
GIF, and I'm just gonna put it in the show chat.
This never
Upload.
needed to happen.
Oh my. Okay, I think I that was okay. Was that that? Yeah, that was the crane transfer. It was one of the Decepticons or something.
If you look in the chat,
Oh my god. Oh
yeah,
my god.
I hate everything about it.
I hate
I
everything
don't.
about this.
That is now illegal in certain states. Like truck nuts are now illegal in certain states. I think it's Florida and maybe it was Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding. It was the GOP passed a bill, and under the exact wording of it, truck nuts fall under the same categories. And when pressed about it, they yeah, that's true. So cops are now getting calls and having to go out and enforce truck nuts.
put the squeeze on the nuts.
Let me see which. I hate that this is where we're at. I hate that this is where we're at.
I mean, that's
Don't
dumb.
like
I
this.
mean, look, I'll be the first person to say truck nuts are some of the stupidest fucking things I've ever seen ever be on
Oh, okay.
another
Idaho.
vehicle.
Okay, Idaho is definitely one of them.
But that doesn't mean I think they should go
It's
away.
it is now considered indecent exposure offense.
That's incredible.
Oh,
Wait,
Yeah,
can you get on the list for truck nuts?
Well, I don't know that I want to go through all of Idaho. Idaho House Bill 270.
Like, is it a sex crime? Like, is that?
Well, I mean,
it's indecent exposure.
I think
That needs to apply to the sex crime.
elaboration. Essentially, Idaho's indecent exposure law, which previously prohibited public exposure of genitals, has expanded to include female breasts, artificial breasts, and products resembling genitals, truck nuts included. The law prohibits the willful and lewd display of these items in public places.
And if you break this law, is there a section where it says consequences of breaking this law? Like what penalties it infers? Because I swear, I will die laughing if you can get it on the list for truck nut.
Okay. Some argue
will
that
be
the
the
law
end.
might not be strictly enforced against every instance of, I hate this, quote, truck nuts, unquote. It is now a legal basis for potential complaints and charges. Let me restate that. It is now a legal basis for potential complaints and charges. I don't agree. I don't agree. Like I'm not a fan of truck nuts, but like listen, your car is your car. The only people that's really got to like it is you.
If
You
you want to
know,
put nuts on your car, go right ahead.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen,
But
I'm a
hey,
proponent of car
look,
customization. If you've ever seen the Bozo Zuko craze and the car customization and truck customization in Japan in the 70s and 80s, shit was wild.
we are law-abiding citizens here on this podcast. So you heard it here first, folks. You see truck nuts, you see something, you say something.
The Bosuzoku gangs were actual like gangsters.
Yes, but and the car and motorcycle customizations were just amazing. I've
What would
seen
they
some
do?
resurgence of hold on, let me pull up
Like the
a photo for you.
Bosuzoku like thing just never did actually went away in Japan.
Yeah, no, it's still there's been a sort of a bit of a resurgence in the US too, like it's been or gaining traction possibly.
Not in
Um
California.
yeah. Nowhere with potholes, that's for sure.
Well, no, just
Um
because of what they do with their headers. It's just a piece of
Oh
iron
yeah,
pipe.
There's none of these modifications are legal in most states. There is an example. Yeah, that is like a purebred example of some of the modifications that were done to the cars. Let me see if I can find one of the motorcycles, but it's honestly kind of very much the
The
same with the
That was
colors, the
insane.
flames, the overextended um, uh, uh, exhaust pipes. It's just crazy,
That is insane.
crazy,
It looks like,
insane
why
stuff.
is it a shovel on the front?
The cool thing is the motorcycles. They would joust on the motorcycles. They'd mess with the police, run from the police on the bikes. But like, oh yeah, here we go. This is a good one. Oh yeah, that's a
What
keeper.
is happening here?
Oh, hold on, let me grab that.
Yeah, that one's
Here-
the one that you put in there is actually quite tame.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good
Tame?
Yeah.
Here's one of the motorcycles, and again, this one's fairly tame, and it's got the the long back seat, but it does and the all the horns. Look at all the air horns facing backward.
I kind of like the motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah, they're
I
they're
like the high
super
back.
cool.
They kind of are. They
No,
kind of are super cool.
they're really goddamn cool. Like just the creativity and the customization. Now, here's another one. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm sold on the bikes.
Yeah.
I like the bike.
I like both of them. The cool thing about the cars too is a lot of that, like some of the front end disassembly is to give better access to the intercoolers and stuff like that, as well as being an aesthetic choice.
Get ready for this truck.
Oh god.
Oh, you get in the trucks. Yeah.
What is this?
Like actually, like not like
the Japanese show
What
trucks
even
are
is
on
that?
a different level.
Triceratops on it.
yeah, they're like
There's
straight.
dinosaurs on this truck.
Yep.
Some of these rigs are $1 million rigs. They are practically touring carnival rides as far as lights and pictures and shows and all this stuff, and they just haul stuff. It's amazing.
You want some Mad Max? Here's some Mad Max trucks. Load, please.
What the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. You're gonna have to put
Yeah.
these in the edit. This
Yeah,
is
I will.
insane. They have stairs in the front.
I've got another one like that. Hold on. Yeah, let me grab
Oh my
that.
god. I still can't get over the one with dinosaurs. That one is incredible.
The
that
Japanese have
shit.
gone bonkers.
Look at that. Yeah. Right? I've got one of the Triceratops not all lit up. It's in the daytime. Hold on a second.
Oh my god.
There you go. Put those side by side.
Cute. I love it.
I mean, they're bigger than K trucks, but like they're still Japanese. You know,
They're like box trucks.
Yeah, they're Japanese box trucks. Let me tell you, oh man, if I could get, oh my god, somebody has a Bosuzuku style K truck. Oh, I need this. I need this in my life.
And then there's my favorite,
God.
Look at that.
my absolute favorite
Tiny little truck. It's a tiny little truck.
car culture thing that comes out of Japan, which is the Itasha wrap.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
This is getting excessive now. All right. Okay.
If you are a fan,
Okay.
of drift cars, you know what skin this is.
That's it.
It is some variation of every skin you've ever seen on every drift car ever. Just
That's-
anime waifu all over the place.
Oh God.
This one is very tastefully done, actually. It's very
It
nice.
is very tastefully done.
Yeah.
I wish I could find
Not
the
an
one.
actual degenerate.
Well, there's the one where it's the picture of the girl bending over and the
The
entrance.
exhaust.
No, the entrance is the gas fill.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, yeah, not the okay. I've
God.
seen that one.
Okay.
I've seen that one.
And
That's-
with that, you've wasted another perfectly good hour here listening to us and today's
My apologies.
theme. I don't even know what today's theme was. I guess second chances or maybe crazy Japanese rides. Who can say? Let us know what you thought about the theme down below in the comments. And while you're there, why don't you go hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit it yet, and then hit the noti bell so you know when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for listening. And, I've been your host, Mara.
I've been Asher.
I've been lost.
And Boku, that
Boku no
you do it,
Pico.
cheese bags. There you go. Cheese bags.
Boko
Do
no
that.
cheese bags.
Yeah, there you go.